Cognition in the human brain is organized into three networks. The default mode network, DMN, is active when the conscious brain is at rest. It has several important nodes. The medial prefrontal cortex is involved in self-referential thinking and emotional processing. It receives information from the senses, emotional centers like the amygdala, and memory centers in the posterior part of the cortex. The lateral parietal cortex and precuneus are areas of long-term storage for self-referential memories. This includes both spatial memories and autobiographical memories. These regions are especially active during mind wandering. They bring up memories of the past and bring them to the attention of the MPC for contextual processing. The task positive network, TPN, also called the executive network, is active when a person is engaged in an activity that requires focused attention. The dorsolateral prefrontal cortex is the center of executive functioning. It is the center for foresight, planning, mental calculations, and working memory. The posterior parietal cortex receives secondary sensory information from the visual, auditory, and somatosensory cortices. It processes this information to orient a person in space and sends this information to the DLPC. It is very important in attention-requiring activities, as it focuses the DLPC on incoming external and internal stimuli. The salience network, SN, determines which of these networks is most important to activate. It links the DMN and TPN networks to limbic emotional processing. The insula is an area of cortex underneath the parietal cortex in either hemisphere of the brain. It has strong reciprocal connections to the limbic system and to internal and external sensory organs. It coordinates these inputs to determine a person's emotional state. The anterior cingulate cortex, ACC, is a decision-making area. The ACC compares information from the insula about the emotional state and determines if it is appropriate for the situation. Based on this error checking, it determines the appropriate network, DMN or TPN, to activate. When there are no external needs, the SN directs consciousness to the DMN. The DMN is crucial to the development of personality. It develops a sense of self, who am I? Theory of mind, others have a self, and orienting the self in social contexts and a time and a place. It is active when a person is remembering past events and planning for the future. It is the introspective part of consciousness by which people reflect on themselves, their environment, and how to negotiate the best outcomes. It is also the center of creativity. When work is being performed, the SN directs consciousness to the TPN. This is very rapid processing for external tasks that require focused attention. Often called the flow state, goal-directed activity is performed that requires effort to sustain. Once the task is complete, the SN directs consciousness back to the DMN. In a neurotypical individual, the DMN and TPN networks are seamlessly integrated. The brain unconsciously switches between them as needed based on external and internal cues received.